Hello everybody, my name is Marlow and welcome back to another episode of TekTopia. I have the hiccups today, if that isn't already clear. I thought they had gone, but obviously not. My voice is also a little bit raspy today because we're going to power through this because I've just finished streaming and yeah, they always seem to tire my voice out and apparently give me hiccups. I was not aware, but yeah, we're starting this episode a little bit earlier than I usually would in the week because I have a lot of things to do today, I think, and I want to make sure I get them all done in time. And the main thing we're going to be doing today is building all of the remaining buildings in Ereduin. I was going to redo that intro because I've now stopped hiccuping, but I listened to it back and it made me laugh quite a bit. So I've decided to keep it in and I hope it brought a smile to some of your faces as well. But anyway, like I said, we are going to be wrapping up things here as far as building is concerned. And once we've got that done, it's really just the terraforming that is left. And I'm thinking it's going to take maybe 2 episodes to do. It's definitely going to be a multi-episode project because there is quite a lot to get done here. So probably in 3 episodes time, if everything goes to plan, we will be done with Ereduin, and then we'll be starting the new village after that, which is very exciting, of course. But let's not get too far ahead of ourselves. Let's talk more about today's episode, and we're going to be doing some building, like I said. So I think we're going to start off by just flying high in the sky, all the way above Ereduin, and then taking a look down from a bird's eye view and seeing what areas we need to fill. So as far as this section of the island, I think there's only one spot that really needs something built on it, which is just over here outside of the underground 6-person home that we built last episode down there. It's just a bit flat and open, and I think we definitely need something here to make it a bit more interesting. And then the final bit is actually mostly over here in this little section just by our bridge. We kind of, if we just land up here, have an open spot here and one here, we just need to do something with it. I'm not exactly sure what just yet on both sides. I've got an idea for one of them, which is actually going to be a lighthouse that we'll start building soon. But the final spot is going to be, if we just fly out here and turn around, right there, just behind the potion shop that we built last episode. That's way too flat, way too open, and we just need something to make it look, as I said earlier, same for over there, a bit more interesting. So the lighthouse is a build I've had suggested to me over many episodes from lots of different people, and I've been meaning to do it for quite a long time now. I've just been struggling to think what a fantasy elven lighthouse would look like, and I think I've come up with something that is okay and fits with our village style here, but I don't know. I don't love it, but I also don't hate it. I think I'm still yet to make up my mind, but we're going to time-lapse it here, and you guys can let me know what you think about it down in the comments. So there we have it, the lighthouse. Are you guys unsure? Because I still am, to be quite frank. Only parts of it though, like up until you get to the very top, I'm actually very happy with it. It looks like a pretty ordinary building. It's just this sea lanterns and quartz combination that may look a little bit peculiar, but I think if I explain to you what it's meant to be, it might make a little bit more sense and potentially look better that way. So basically, my theory is that those sea lanterns up at the top there, actually it might be better if we get a closer look. They're in a sort of crystallish formation, and I'm thinking this is some Let me fly up, please. Some sacred crystal to the village, and it's really, really bright, basically, and it will illuminate for miles so that any ships coming nearby will be able to see there is land approaching because of this crystal, and its pure brightness, it just radiates light, you know? That's my thinking anyway. So I've used quartz here, and I'm tending to use that in the village for more prestigious builds. We have it over here with the Fountain of Youth, and then we also have it down underground in the Shrine Room, and maybe in a couple of other places that I can't think of off the top of my head. But something with a really important and shining bright crystal, I feel like that's got to have quartz in it if we're keeping up with that theme. We're also going to build something later out of quartz that is once again going to be very prestigious. So yeah, that's my thinking. It's some sort of magical, really bright crystal covered in quartz, and it just illuminates for miles upon miles. And then the rest of it is basically just another tower. I've used quartz here. I don't know if I should or not. I may actually exchange that out for oak or something else. If you guys think we should just have quartz at the top, that might actually be as what's like throwing me off a little bit. So give me your feedback on that middle part. Maybe some other blocks we could replace it with. But yeah, that's the lighthouse. A little bit of a strange one for sure. I have completed the interior too, so let's head inside and take a look at that. And I was actually originally going to make this a very small two-person home, just having the exact space needed, but then I remembered we have exactly 100 villager beds already in this village, so don't really want to go above that if I don't have to, which we don't. So yeah, I've just made this a purely cosmetic building, and as you can see here at the bottom is where our big old staircase starts, and we just have some storage and a chair for one lighthouse keeper to sit at. And then if we go all the way up this winding staircase, we eventually reach a ladder coming to the quartz section here. Very bright. Actually kind of like it from the inside more. Is where we have another chair for the other lighthouse keeper, where they can kind of maintain the crystal and just keep an eye on things, as lighthouse keepers do fairly often. So yeah, that's all we really got in here. Pretty simple, but I definitely think it works. One last thing I forgot to do with the lighthouse is put a flower pot right here. Now we're all done, and before we get started with any more building, we actually need to take care of the nitwit situation that we have. There's a bit of an overpopulation of nitwits. There are currently 8 walking around that are just villagers that are completely jobless, and they've been like that for a while now because I've kind of just not had enough emeralds to actually buy their tokens. Things are getting pretty expensive nowadays, but as you can see here, I have mustered up the emeralds and got them all together. So we've got 3 miners, 2 ranchers, 2 farmers, and 1 butcher. Didn't really put too much thought into it, as we don't actually really need any more professions. It's sort of just what I can have as extra. So yeah, I'm gonna go around, hand all of these out, and then we'll get back to building. There always has to be one that just disappears. Whenever I'm handing out villager tokens, they're all super duper easy, and then the last one just completely vanishes from existence and I can never find them. I would guess they're either in bed or at the tavern, so I'm gonna go there first of all, and if I'm lucky I might actually get some hearts in the morning, because we do need to spawn in some more children today. If I just get out the TekTopia book here, you can already see I've got one that I just picked up not long ago. But if we go on homes, you can see total beds is 100 and total residents is 98. Last episode it was saying 97 for some reason. It's now back up to 98, so we haven't had a villager unexpectedly die, which of course is very nice. Yeah, so we just need to spawn in 2 children, which we will do as soon as we find this last villager. Where have they gone? I've checked the book, and more specifically the coordinates of the villager, and they are somewhere in this house. I don't know which room they're in, but I hear a heart, which is good. I will take that, thank you very much. Not this one. There's 24 spaces. There you are. We found John Ekelos. What a great name. I love that last name. Always see it. But yeah, you are the final villager for now, at least. We do have 2 more remaining, which are going to be these 2 guys right here. And a 1 and a 2. So there, Mario. What is your last name? Gwarth? Gwarth? Is that silent or not? I have no idea. Mario is the 100th villager though, so that's awesome. We'll let these guys grow up, and hopefully I can attain a few more emeralds, and maybe we'll turn them into clerics or something like that. That's always a safe bet. But now what we're going to do is probably sleep the night away, because it's dangerous and the guards and the clerics are running everywhere and there's children about. It was probably a bad time to spawn them in. So yeah, I'm going to go sleep, and then I think what we're going to do is actually get started on this space right here, which I'm pretty sure I'm going to turn into a garden of sorts. A lot of you said that me sleeping in the bed is most certainly the reason of why the miners are so much sadder than the other villagers, and that's because a lot of you said they just have further to go. Simple as that, right? All of the other villagers, before I actually decide to go to bed, get back to their homes and get a little bit of a happiness boost, but the miners are so far underground, they probably get to about here, and then it's morning time and they go back again. So yeah, sorry miners, but I'm kind of prioritizing the rest of the villagers here, trying to keep them safe, like that little guy down there, who is potentially Mario, or the other one who I just completely neglected. And something else that was pretty highly commented last episode that I need to just address is turns out you can actually make snow layers like these things right here. I kind of forgot. So basically you harvest some snow like this, as you can see I'm doing. You get some snowballs, and then if you just get 3 of them like so, we will just chuck the rest of the snowballs, maybe hit a villager. That would be good, I guess, or bad, I don't really know. And then go to a crafting bench. For some reason I'm gonna use the one in the storage room instead of my own. You can make them right here. And in case you didn't catch the last episode, what I was hoping to use snow layers for was actually our dragon head here in the center of the table in the barracks. And yeah, I think I'm just going to try and replace it with whatever we had it on before. I honestly don't even remember. Oh, an end rod. Yes, that was it. So if we just do... I forget the amount of snow layers. I might have to do a little bit of testing here. So that is 7 snow layers, and as you can see here, it's honestly not a whole lot different to the end rod that was there before. So kind of wish I didn't move it at all, because now I have to move him around with a fishing rod and try and get him in a good position, and then push this cyan wall back in with a piston. Just a lot of unnecessary effort, but yeah, I guess it's good to know that we can actually use these things now. That's gonna have to do. It's definitely not perfect. It might be minutely better than it was before. I actually decreased it to 6 snow layers, and you can just about see it. Oh, come on, can I be quick again with the necromancer and kill him before he spawns? And oh my goodness, that's a lot of... Did I get him? Oh my goodness, I got him. That was such a pro shot. Wow, I'm impressed with myself. No need to blow my own trumpet, but that was a good shot, because there were a lot of wither skeletons I could have hit then, and now they've despawned for some reason. I guess because they walked out the village and then they came back in. Oh, okay, that was quick thinking. What was I saying? Oh yeah, it's 6 snow layers now instead of 7, and it works a little bit better. You can only just about see the armor stand right there, which is a minute amount less than you could before. But hey, 20 emeralds, that's awesome. And no necromancer coming to kill all of our villagers. Not gonna lie, I don't think I've ever looked cooler than that. But enough gloating, let's get on with the building, shall we? So as I said, we're gonna be building the garden over here, and I'm thinking... One thing I want to add in for sure is either some sort of gazebo or possibly a leaf canopy of sorts, some sort of covering with a table underneath, basically. I want to make this look kind of sophisticated, you know. This is an elven village. I feel like they wouldn't have like a fun garden. They would have a place for conversation and a place to relax, and yeah, I don't know. I recently made a video on my single player series of just vanilla survival about building custom gardens and some tips from there. I may take inspiration from that and build a couple of things similar to it, but I'm thinking it's going to actually be quite a lot different. I think I'm going to have a look around online for some concept art so I can get some ideas that way and maybe take some inspiration from some movies that include elves, aka Lord of the Rings. So this is what we've got, and it's pretty basic actually. It's still missing a couple of details like bone meal and flowers, but we're going to do all of that over the course of the next 2 episodes hopefully. So imagine all of this with some lush greenery and some pretty flowers all over the place. But basically this is my canopy that I've made, and we're still letting some vines grow. As you can see, a lot of them are just in the first stages, but this is meant to be like a somewhat man-made / natural canopy of leaves over the top, and I think it just looks very fancy and almost magical in a way. I really wish the leaf color was a different was just brighter, you know, but we're in a mountain biome and this is just how it is. So we've got this big bushy leaf canopy on top, and it's led to by this pond that you have to cross over, this rocky pond with the bridge, and I just think this looks pretty good. I might do a bit more blending with the ground because it's got a sudden like cutoff point here, for example. I might just do something a bit more like this, but I'll come back to that probably next episode when we do all of the terraforming and that sort of thing. But yeah, for the most part, that's just a super simple little garden, leaf canopy, gazebo type thing, nicely placed in this open spot here. And as you can see, we got 8 chairs in total for our elves to sit around and discuss elvish things. A final finishing touch that I've forgotten once again is a flower pot. Makes a world of difference. And I think I'm also going to chuck a couple of lily pads in here. Maybe just 2 or 1 on each side, I guess. I can't place them next to the signs. That's annoying. Maybe I won't add them because they're a bit too symmetrical. Maybe I can have one here and then just something... I don't know. This is too finicky. This is why I don't do this sort of stuff on camera, because I just spent ages thinking about it. How about that? Just 2 on either side, and maybe just move that one over slightly. That will do. Otherwise, I will literally spend all day here. And hey, look at that. They're using a bridge. That's pretty cool. Did not think that was going to be a possibility. But yeah, that's awesome. All right, we're ready to get started with the next build here. Once again, after I go to bed. So the next build we're going to do is going to be located over here just behind the potion shop, and as you can see I've already made a start on this by building up this stone platform that's going to hold what's going to be placed on top of it, which is actually going to be a statue of an elk. Now I'm thinking this is going to hold some important significance to the lore of Ereduin, and my thinking is that whenever Ereduin was involved in battles, they would ride in on the back of an elk, a little bit like Thranduil in Lord of the Rings, right? So I think building a statue for that animal is going to be something really cool. But before we start placing these blocks here out of quartz, I do just want to say, unfortunately, this is not my design. Believe you me, guys, I tried so hard to get a statue that looked good, but I tried for about an hour and 15 minutes, I think it was, of just multiple designs, and they all looked rubbish. Kind of like Nessie in the back there, but she can get away with looking a little bit weird. This one kind of needs to look good. So the design is actually from Orpheus, and I'm going to leave their link to the page in the description where I found this. And I'm not going to show you how to build it because I think you can actually get like blueprints from the build, and I don't want to show how to build somebody else's build, right? That's it. Again, are you joking? Okay, I'll sort that out before we start building this. I'm not going to get over there in time. I'm going to have to fight it properly. But yeah, that's where the design is from, and we're just going to get this built up real quick right after I fight that necromancer. That looks awesome. I absolutely love this thing. It looks superb. The antlers at the top there, the head shape, the legs, everything is just wonderful. I did make a few minor modifications to the design that the creator didn't, and it's just like a few slabs and stairs here or there. But for the most part, this is 99% Orpheus's design, so do make sure you check out the link below if you want to see how to build this and maybe use blocks that aren't quartz, because obviously theirs was not. Theirs was made out of wood types, and yeah, looks a lot more like an actual elk if that's what you're going for, but this is meant to be some magical statue, right? Something that's very important to the village. And you may actually notice the quartz looks a little bit different to usual. I made a change to my texture pack that I use here that only has a few differences, like my note blocks look like this and a couple of other things here or there. But basically what I did is I moved over the smooth quartz texture that you get in the newer version of the game. Obviously we're in 1.12 here, so I don't have it. I made the quartz texture look nice and smooth because generally I prefer it much more than the one with the borders. And yeah, especially for stuff like this where you're solely building out of quartz, it's much better than the one with the borders. So yeah, hopefully you guys are on board with that change. I'm sure most of you will be. Are you actually joking? Another one? Okay, I guess that's another one we'll go deal with in a second. Jeez. The only other change I wanted to make possibly was to maybe put some sort of lighting block here or just somewhere in the center to illuminate it at nighttime. But anyway, we're going to do something else now. I'm not going to show you this necromancer fight because I think 3 is enough for one, or 2 is enough for one episode. You don't need to see the 3rd, unless I can do it just super quick here again, which I actually can. Okay, that was nice and easy. Thank you very much. Merchant, I actually might need to trade with you. I just saw you somewhere, but you might have got scared of the necromancer. The fact that the necromancer keeps spawning over there gives me an idea of possibly farming him somehow. I'm not going to do it in this village, but I might actually keep it in mind for future villages, just like making one corner of the village actually spawnable, which is exactly what we've got here. All of the others are actually in the ocean, hence why he's there all the time. But maybe we could do that actually, and then set up like a bunch of guard posts over there, so guards are just automatically always patrolling that area, and then they just kill him really quick before he could spawn any of his companions. Definitely something to think about. Anyway, how does this look now we've got a sea lantern in that middle spot? Yeah, that's nice. Illuminates it pretty good. We've only got one more build left to do in this episode here today, and I guess the entire of Ereduin, and we'll start it in 1 second, but before we do, I need to stringify some of my builds, because as you can see we have some snow layers where there shouldn't be snow layers, and especially here on the top of the mist of the waterfall, that obviously wouldn't have snow on top of. It's not meant to be a solid block. It's meant to be the mist coming from all of the water falling, so definitely need some up here. But there are a couple of houses, like the Skyforge for example, and the ones on top of the hill here. Excluding that, we'll have to get rid of that snow. That does not make sense. That would be a very hot ceiling. Of course there would not be snow there, but the ones higher up on the mountains, I think they should keep the snow. I think that makes sense, but the rest of it, no, it's gotta go. String has been placed down, and there are no more snow layers where there shouldn't be snow layers, so that is awesome. And now we can start the final build of today's episode, which is actually going to be one that is usually the last thing we do in every single village. It's been a long time since we've seen one of these, hasn't it? If any of you don't know what this is, basically it's a fancy teleporter. Not for me to use, however, it's for those of you who download the world to use. And before anybody asks, yes, you are actually going to be able to download this world at the end of the village. I'll probably talk more about it when it's all done, but a lot of you know I recently added my YouTube memberships, and those of you who are members get world downloads to all of my builds that I make them for. But I'm going to keep TekTopia public, and yeah, I've always had it that way, and I kind of don't want to take that away from you because I know a lot of you enjoy looking around, and I can see the download number next to the previous ones, and it's like up in the thousands, some of them, so I know a lot of people do really enjoy it. Hello, Lumberjack. So yeah, I won't be taking that away from you guys. You will have the world download to look forward to, but basically the gist of it is this is how you transport yourself around the world. It's a teleporter made to look like a horse and carriage, minus the horses because they're annoying and never stay attached to leads. But yeah, that's why we have the command block here, and eventually when you press this button it'll link you back to 00 where there's this whole station and you can go from village to village super simply. I never really use it, but it's more so for you guys. And the final thing we have to do to this to make it complete is one, I think there's a torch here in every single one. They're basically an exact replica in every single village to really make it feel like you've just been taken day and night, horse and carriage all the way through the land. But the final thing we need to do is put an item frame on here with a map inside, but not an empty map. We would like a full map, of course. Now obviously Ereduin isn't done here, so we will have to update this. I just want to see what it's going to look like as it is right now, especially with all the colourful roofs, and we're going to click it here. How are we looking? We don't fit it all in. I thought that might be the case, but I can already tell that's gonna look really, really cool. I'm thinking if we do like a 2x2 thing and then shrink it down or something like that. Basically, I'm gonna expand this until I can fit it all inside. Oh, buddy, this is looking awesome. And I think we're actually gonna fit everything in pretty much perfectly there. I am impressed that that actually lined up super well. There's no real way to decide how a map is laid out. It all depends on, you know, chunks and direction. I don't exactly know, but you can't really dictate how much actually fits in a map. But that right there is virtually everything. Let's just... that didn't work. Let's just have a look here and see what we got. So there's Nessie in the ocean, as you can see. This is where we are currently, just in front of the bridge. That's our crop farm and all of the houses with the different color roofs. Oh man, that looks really cool. Why does this house look so different? I don't know. Has it got a... Oh, it's because it's got the dark oak slabs on top of the blocks. That's why it doesn't have the colourful light blue roof. But there's our finished island over there where we have all of the animals just behind and through that little gap. There's our stag and elk that we just built up. And there is... where's our base? I think this is our base here at the top of the mountain. That's so cool. Awesome. Let's go put it in the item frame. And boop. There we go. That is so cool, and it's going to look even better in 2 episodes time, or at least hopefully around then when everything is done. I've just realized these 2 buildings don't quite make it onto the map. I think it stops around about here, just in front of the bakery, which is a shame. And we could get them in by expanding the map, but it would make the rest of the village even smaller. And I don't mind not having these 2 actually be on the map. So sorry, bakery and baker's house, you didn't quite make the cut. The sun is going down, so as always, we're playing a risky game here, flying around at night time. There could be a zombie attack or a creeper could blow me up, but I know we're going to be safe because we're going to cower here in the town hall and buy some stuff from the tradesman, because our 2 nitwits have now, well, our 2 children have now grown up into nitwits, and I think I said I wanted to make them both a cleric. Don't know if we can afford that. I think we can. There's one and there's the other. Yes, 2 emeralds left. Oh no, the blacksmith is dying. Oh goodness, they can't protect themselves. Where is that happening? Up there on the Sky Forge. Are you okay? Okay, he's nearly pushing him off the edge. I'm coming to save you. Coming to save you. You look scared too. Okay, everybody all right? Everybody all right? This is why we don't do things at nighttime. Go back home. Go to sleep. Rest your weary heads, and I'll do the same. So we can get rid of this dreaded darkness. Here we have DJ, the 99th villager, who, if we'll hold still, can become the cleric. And there we go. Awesome. Okay, where is Wario? No, not Wario. Why did I say Wario? Where is Mario? Or Luigi? Or Waluigi? I don't know. Which one are you? You're somewhere, hopefully. There you are. Hello, friend. Oh no, taking damage from a skeleton? That would be... Whoa, I've never seen this. That was cool. Oh, it was Mario who just got shot by the skeleton. I've never seen a guard kill a skeleton before. That's really cool. I guess that's built into their code then, that if they accidentally shoot a villager, because he was trying to shoot me then, the skeleton, and Mario, Wario, Waluigi, Luigi got in the way, and the guard stepped in. Before we end off the episode here, there's one last thing that I would like to do, and it's not actually here in Ereduin. We're going to be going to a desert and doing a lot of digging. Some of you may remember, if you can cast your mind back to, I think 2 episodes ago, I mentioned just briefly before we went end busting that I needed 70,000 sand for an upcoming project. Well, plans have changed a little bit. I don't need quite that much. I would hazard a guess I need about a third of that amount, maybe a little bit less, possibly like a quarter. I'm going to say around about 20,000 stacks of sand is what I need. Not stacks, goodness gracious, that's way more than I would need. Just 20,000 sand. Still a very high number. And basically what I'm going to do now is go over to the desert with 4 of my mending efficiency 5 and breaking 3 shovels, and dig sand for however long it takes for all of them to fully deplete until they need repairing. I don't know if this is going to take me like 4 hours or like 45 minutes. I have no grasp as to how long I'm going to be digging sand for, but I thought, hey, let's time-lapse it because that's probably going to be really satisfying to watch, so I hope you enjoy. that time lapse took me 1 hour, 12 minutes and 16 seconds exactly, and we are left with this rather large hole that you can see. I hope you guys enjoyed watching. It was quite satisfying, wasn't it? But yeah, we also have some very sad looking shovels that are in desperate need of repairing, but I probably won't need them anytime soon because I think I've got enough sand here. This is basically 14 full shulker boxes. This one's is a little bit empty, but yeah, that's more than enough sand. I'm not going to do the math, but it's over 20,000, I'm pretty sure. So I think I should be good. Fingers crossed. I can always do a little bit more if need be. I actually kind of enjoyed myself. I like a little bit of grind here and there. But everybody, that is going to be it for today's episode. I really hope you did enjoy watching and are looking forward to the final 2 episodes here. Well, we're not actually there at the moment. We're very far away from the village. We are a good few thousand blocks. I've got a long trip back, but I hope you enjoy the final episodes in Ereduin over the next couple of weeks, and I will see you then. Thank you for watching. Bye for now.